Hey class, so today on September 22nd, 1862, Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation. So what this did was a presidential proclamation essentially saying that all slaves are free, that there will be slavery no longer in our country. Now this was right in the middle of the Civil War, and so the states that he was president of, the North, already didn't agree with slaves. And had slavery banned anyway. And the states that weren't in the Union anymore, the South, were fighting for their independence. So really what Abraham Lincoln was doing was a couple things. The first thing that he was doing was discussing with the border states. There were still some states that were in the North that liked and sided with Abraham Lincoln that also still owned slaves. They didn't want to leave the country. So he was telling those states, if you want to stay, you have to get rid of slavery. This is going to be a thing. The other thing it really made it do was it polarized the argument. So polarized, think like the North and the South Pole, right? When you polarize something, you put people on one side or the other. You try and split them up. So normally we try and bring people together that we maybe compromise, and I'm way over here and you're way over here, but if we find somewhere in the middle, it works. What he was doing the opposite, pushing them away, right? If you are, what he was saying essentially is if you are helping the South, if you were helping the Confederate States, you are for slavery. That's what he was trying to say too. So England had banned slavery and they kind of liked the South. They only liked helping the South because they liked watching America beat ourselves up. Right? England and us have had a long history of wars and fighting each other. So when they watched us fight ourselves, they thought it was kind of awesome to kind of poke the bear a little bit. Same with France. All these European countries now had the choice. If they are helping the South, they are essentially saying that slavery is a good thing. And they couldn't do that because slavery was banned in their countries. So what Abraham Lincoln was doing was really telling the world what he envisioned our country was going to be, and that forced the hand of some of those countries. So England and France had to stop helping the South and help the North instead. The other thing this was a message to the slaves in the South, right? That you should rise up because if the South loses the war, they will be free. So what he's also trying to do is get some of those slaves in the South to rise up and fight back. The idea was if the Confederacy, the South, is not just fighting against the North, but is also fighting against themselves, right? That would make it harder for them to win. And so Abraham Lincoln makes this Emancipation Proclamation, not just because it's a moral argument, but also because it's a smart argument.